Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec-D and BCDA Drift Series.
Welcome along, everybody, to Agassiz Raceway, and welcome along to round 2 of the Spec-D Drift Series. Practice yesterday was heating up quick right off the bat with a 2-hour open session for our drivers to eye out this brand new venue and the sick layout here. Promises speedy, flowy tandems, carnage, and amazing battles all throughout the day, so I hope you stay tuned here. In regards to the championship battle, Matt Rusiecki picked up right where he left off at Rad Torque Raceway, showing us early on in the practice session that he is the man to watch this weekend. As far as practice goes yesterday, some drivers had some homework to do overnight, some drivers immediately dialed in. One of those drivers, Kuscaden, looking hungry again. Maybe we'll see him on the podium. Another driver to mention, the notorious GAB, in a rental car this weekend, with the main car suffering some catastrophic damage after round 1. He's going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to keep pace with some of these other drivers out here this weekend. Another driver to keep your eye on, Brett Alexander, hot off the charge of round 1. He looks on point here at Agassiz Raceway. We're pretty excited to see what he can do today. With that being said, this is drifting. Anything can and will happen. You want to keep your eyes glued to the stream to see who comes out on top this weekend.
JB's was built in Alberta, the province with oil in its veins and horsepower in its heart. Founded more than 50 years ago by Jim Bell. Jim created JB's with an undying passion for making vehicles look and perform better. To this day, we still strive to provide the best range of aftermarket parts, including complete engine assemblies, performance parts, truck accessories, car audio, and remote starters. With a huge selection and a full team of enthusiasts, JB's Power Center has been an obvious choice for decades. JB's Power Center, parts for enthusiasts by enthusiasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Agassiz Raceway, and welcome to round 2 of the Spec-D Drift Series. We're about to kick it off here for qualifying, so make sure to grab your pierogies, grab your seats online, start rapidly typing on that keyboard. Make sure that you tell our live staff that you love to see the stream. I'd like to say hello, what's up to Nicole. Welcome along, joining me here for your qualifying.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
Excellent, excellent. And I've also got to say what up and cuckoo to the walrus, to my Eggman, Mr. Jeremy, over there in the Red Bull DJ Jeep. Something. And to all of you online, hello, hi, how you doing? Make sure to spam those keyboards. Let me know what you think. I'm going to try to be checking in on the chat too, so if you see anything that you don't like, make sure you let me know. What's up, Mr. Joseph? We miss you, buddy. How's it going, mate? Hope you're doing all right. Like to give a shout out also to Kaylin and the cats. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If the cats haven't bothered you for food yet, you should probably feed them twice. They deserve it. All right, here we go. Taking a look at our layout. So drivers will be entering into the bank turn 3 here at Agassiz Speedway. Actually, turn 2, but we're doing it backwards, so it's going to be turn 1 for us. The first outer zone there on your left-hand side of the screen. We have removed the first inner clip, so where it says the decel map there, that still stays, but that inner clip is now gone. We'll be using that first touch-and-go zone you see on driver's right into the second outer zone in the weird odd shape there. Then we come across the middle of the infield, filling out that second touch-and-go, and then finally filling out your second outer zone. And that is the layout here at Agassiz Speedway for the Mountain Mayhem. So lovely afternoon here, Nicole. No weather expected in the forecasts, just madness.
That's right. That's what we're here for today. It's looking nice and dry and a lot cooler than when we were out here last weekend for our grassroots series, thankfully.
Yes, we are all very thankful. So we're entering into qualifying where each driver will get 2 non-consecutive runs here to impress our panel of judges. We are going to be warming things up here with number 56, Jesse Foote will be our first driver we hear from today. Judges will be looking for style, line, angle, speed, excitement, danger, always bet on it. Basically, we're looking to have a nice smooth run throughout the track, and this will be used to determine the driver's starting position. Higher qualifying drivers will get to lead first in competition. Lower qualifying drivers will have to chase first. Now, there is a bit of strategy that can be played here. Sometimes if you feel like you're a little stronger in the chase position, you might opt to go for a lower qualifying score here. However, there are points on the table for qualifying as well, so I think top spot will take home 10 additional points, and that will help in the ultimate chase for that Spec-D Pro Spec license, which our drivers are chasing down here this season. We're very excited to start this one off and keen to get started here. This is Jesse Foote in the Rev Performance 180SX. Unfortunately, we saw Jesse Foote have a little bit of a spill during round 1. They were almost able to make it back out into the competition, but a Pierce Radfan wasn't able to do that as Mr. Bolte does a nice limbo under the line there. Very good, very good. All right, ADD is off and drifting is on. Lights are extinguished. Oh, a little bit off on my timing. That was almost perfect. All right. Very nice camera angles here. We can actually see Sean Simpson from here now on the live stream. That's nice. That's a little bonus for you. All right, there is the hot call. So I'm going to re-ramp that up here. Agassiz Speedway, you guys ready to see some qualifying? Make some noise over there. That sounds pretty good. I'm happy with that, if you guys are happy with that. And it looks like we're happy with that in the judges' tower as well. Lights are on and we are ready to go. Jesse Foote officially turning wheels here on round 2 of the Spec-D Drift Series. Let's see what mayhem waits us in these mountains. As Jesse Foote now running into the course, grabbing a gear into third gear. Flicking it in along the wall, filling that first outer zone here. Little bit of a bobble for Jesse Foote. Grabs a little bit on the brake as he passes that into the first touch and go, eyeing it up perfectly here. Nice transition, little bit left on the table for Jesse Foote, but now really starting to find his good rhythm here as he transitions and hits that first inside clip. Now hitting that second touch and go as he comes across, filling that last outer zone. Jesse Foote starting things off strong here. What do we think?
Beautiful run by Jesse Foote there. Doing his best to make light work of the track. Curious to see what he's going to bring to the table for his second qualifying run, because that was looking pretty good to me.
I think really the only point of contention you can make here for Jesse Foote, a little bit off that first touch and go, a little bit slow on the transitions here in that first outer zone, but as he comes into the midfield, looks like he really locks in. Nice flick of angle there for that first inner clip, nice on that second touch and go, and he is just money smooth on that last outer zone for Jesse Foote. I don't know what he's going to score, Nicole, but I can tell you that he's probably leading qualifying right now.
I'm sure he is. I mean, the competition is coming up on the board, though, with Matt Rusiecki right behind him. We know Matt has been killing it all morning in practice. He's been looking fantastic, feeling good. So excited to see what Matt can do on this layout today.
So 71 for Jesse Foote, a 71 for Mr. Jesse Foote. We'll see if that puts him on the back foot or the front foot going forward. So next up online, this is Matt Rusiecki, your championship leader right now. Wants to go out and put it all on the line. He's looking deadly in practice today, and very excited for this run, Nicole.
Matt does have a little bit of an advantage here as he judged a competition on this track with a very similar layout yesterday, so he's got a really great idea of what the judges are looking for.
So let's see, last year, this is where it all kind of came undone for his championship hopes. Seems like the monkey paw has bent backwards, though, so hoping Matt Rusiecki can keep up that amazing form that he had during round one. Of course, if he didn't join us for that, he was perfect. P1 qualifying, P1 finish. Matt Rusiecki, all the business in that Lord Core Racing 350Z. Let's see what Mr. Rusiecki has for us as the light is ready to go. Judges are ready. Crayons have been administered. Correct color has been located. Lights are on. Lights are off. Here we go for Matt Rusiecki coming into the course. Nice job from the start chicane here. Matt Rusiecki rolling it up through the gears. Fires it in with a huge flick of angle. Nice and beautiful up on the wall for Matt Rusiecki. This is exactly what I was talking about. Adds in a little bit more angle now to finish that first touch and go off. Transitions to fill that first outer zone, that second outer zone, pardon me. Matt Rusiecki strong on the load pedal. I don't think he's lifted yet. Through the second touch and go, now in that last outer zone. Agassiz makes some noise for Matt Rusiecki.
Amazing run by Matt Rusiecki there. He comes in high on the bank with tons of speed, absolutely filling every inch of that first outside zone. He comes in down through the touch and go and into the outer zone too. Nice snappy transitions from Matt as he's deep in that zone, carries his speed nicely through the center. Great transition here and all the way through to that final outer zone. Matt's putting the car in all the places he needs to be. He knows what the judges are looking for. He knows what he's looking for, and I think today that's going to be P1 qualifier and P1 in championship. He's going to want a redo of last round.
I like it. Bold prediction already. But I think it's a pretty safe bet. Matt looked pretty on point there, and yeah, that's an 86 for Matt Rusiecki, 86 for car 69, and that moves up into P1 so far. Next up on the line, we have car number 77, Angus Juhasz, another local here to the BC area. I think he was out at the grassroots competition with you guys last weekend as well?
Yeah, he was. I believe Angus was struggling a little bit in last weekend, but he seems to have pulled it together this weekend. He was looking great in practice this morning.
Let's see how he gets on as he fires it in here. Nice degree of angle to start off for Angus Juhasz. Mid to high line around the bank. Now coming in, eyeing up that first hit, touch and go. A little bit off of it, but not too bad so far. Has to give it another clutch kick to keep the wheels on the wagon rolling. Angus Juhasz now comes on tight to that front inside clip. Looking to fill that last outer zone here for Angus. A very nice job overall. Put your hands together for Angus Juhasz. Drivers seem to be favoring that flick initiation, a little bit of manji before the big bank. What you guys don't see on the stream, there's a pretty big bump as we come into that first outer zone here. A lot of drivers been liking that to use as their momentum point to help set them up in this bank. It's a pretty steep bank on that side of the track here. Long-time Spec-D viewers, I'd liken it very similar to EIR, but almost like to the steep degree as we see at Rad Torque Raceway. Of course, much shorter. So Angus Juhasz will receive a score from the judges. 65.
Definitely some room for Angus to clean it up in his second qualifying run, and I'm sure he's got some notes from his spotter on that. Next up, who do we have here, Tony?
This would be Spec-D's top unicyclist, Sean Kuscaden, in the BoostFactory.ca BRZ, sitting third place in the standings overall, gunning for that Rookie of the Year award. Sean Kuscaden, anything but though. Man, he spends a lot of time behind the wheel, likes to get rowdy. Let's see how he gets down. Nasty flick in for Sean Kuscaden, and unfortunately, a little bit too much. What happened there? Very uncharacteristic. And not seeing any fluids out the back of that vehicle. Took it rather well. But that's going to be the first time I'm going to call announcer's curse this weekend. Oh, man. I'll have to look over to the replay to see if we can't spot out what happened here for Sean Kuscaden. But not leaving the same way it started. So nice flick initiation, and I think just as he goes to angle up, the car steps out a little extra on him and gives him a little bump in the rear. So Sean Kuscaden, that's going to be a scratch. So a little bit of work to do behind the wall for Sean Kuscaden's team. Gonna quickly check out the track there, make sure it's nice and clean. Next driver on the line, this is car number 97 of the Triple S Motorsports Drift Team. This is Marco Tassone, your defending 2024 champion. Not the first round that he would have wanted. Went out early, top 16 to Sean Kuscaden actually. But so far, Friday practice looking a little bit off for Marco. But as he got into Saturday practice, especially in the later side of it, really finding that other gear, not afraid to run that wall, have pretty big high expectations here for Marco. And really quick, we would like to send a quick happy 10th birthday to Ezra Yates. Your dad Brett is, we stole him for the weekend, but he wanted to make sure that your birthday is always happy and good. So Ezra, if you're watching, happy birthday. Crowd, can we wish Ezra a happy birthday? Thank you, crowd. We love that. I'm sure she'll get a good kick out of that, too. Brett's a good mate, so of course we can do that for him anytime. I love you, too, bud. Where's my media people? How you guys doing? Hi, media. Have you all drank enough water? Why isn't that guy waving? What? Yeah, Ryan. Ryan, I'm calling you out now specifically. Can I get a wave? Ryan, no. Wow, that guy's cold. Cold as ice, man. Holy moly. He finally did wave. Okay, we did see it. It's been noted. It's been put down in my notes here. Just kidding. I didn't write anything. All right. Looks like Track Brad is rolling out. Look at that. What a unit. Thank you, Brad. Right. Alrighty. So track has been cleared. We're looking good. I think Sean just communicating to Marco what happens. Alright, that's the call we've been waiting for. Hope you guys are enjoying at home. Hello, and a big love to all of you guys. So here we go. Mr. Marco Tassone, Edmonton's better 97, with a lot of work to do here. Would like to secure a good qualifying position here today. Let's see how he gets on as we come out of the gate. Marco Tassone running up through the gears. Jay-Z singing away. Nice early flick in for Marco Tassone. A little bit of an e-brake grab there. Sticks it high up on the wall. Sticks it, forgets it. Little check up there for Marco, coming down a little bit early now, filling that first touch and go as he transitions back to fill that second outer zone. Marco Tassone. You can hear the Jay-Z banging off the rev limiter. Looney Tooney doing the good job here. Mr. Austin Jensen, big shout out to you as well. Meanwhile, Marco Tassone on course and across the line. That is the Marco Tassone we all know and love. Make some noise in the building and randomly hit those keyboards in a sequence of letters. If you're happy with that one. Nicole, what stands out to you about that one?
Ooh, I mean, as we talked about earlier, my favorite engine on the grid. So I gotta give it to him for all the noises that we want to hear. It looks like the drivers are building a bit of confidence from where they were this morning, coming into that wall in that first outer zone with some big initiations. This morning we saw a little bit of hesitation up against that wall up on the bank, and it seems like these guys are pulling it together.
Pretty good at this, eh?
I practiced.
Nice. And look at that. Everything he said is true. 79 for Marco Tassone. Puts him up into P2 currently. Excellent. So next driver on the line, one of your local hometown heroes there. This is number 99, Shelby Moreau, part of Fountain Tire Chilliwack, Goodyear, Napa Auto Parts Chilliwack, and Motegi Wheels. As Motegi Wheels gets it spinning, Shelby Moreau is dispatched from the line. Let's see what he can do in that Dark Lotus 350Z. Whoa. Quite a bit off there for Shelby. Riding that inside, super inside line. Now getting out that first touch and go. Dipping a wheel in that second outer zone. And I don't know if you can hear by the audible tone, but that thing should sound like a V8. Sounds more like a V7 at the moment. But Shelby Moreau, a little bit of issues, I think. Comes across the line. He's going to get a full pull out of it, depending on what the judges decide to do with that first outer zone, Nicole.
I was able to spend some time with Shelby this morning. Interestingly enough, this car was actually in a big accident at the end of last season, so he spent a few months getting this back together, working on straightening the frame and building out a new front end. This is probably only the second time he's run this car since that hit. He got a bit of practice in a few weeks ago, so he's been struggling with the line all morning and trying to get this car to do the things that we know Shelby can do. He's an incredible driver, just having a bit of bad luck today, I think.
He does receive a score for his first run, a 32. 32 for car number 99. We'll see what Shelby has for us on his second pass. As we get ready to throw it over to the other Dark Lotus team member, this is Gaston Morrison, part of the Hard Knock Stunts Crew's SCG Performance Stunts Canada Pro 1 Safety S13. One of my favorite drivers is Gaston, just an incredibly nice gentleman and just a wild man behind the wheel. Hoping that those talents can apply here to a good Spec-D result for him. He's been on a podium, hasn't won an event, hoping that can change here this weekend. But it all starts here at qualifying as he comes out of the gate. Nice, healthy acceleration here for Gaston Morrison. Nice early flick in once again. A little bit of e-brake pull on the wrong way in. Nice and up and high for Gaston Morrison. Got a little bit of e-brake there as he nails that touch and go this time. Huge transition again for Gaston. Filling that second outer zone across into the inside clip. Gaston leaving a little bit S13 on the wall. Has to back out of it, but jumps back on that throttle and across the line. And the price of S13 taillights goes up slightly a bit more.
That's what we like to see. Gaston knows right where to put it. He has been on this track countless times. One of our veteran drivers, and as you said, Tony, he really nailed that touch and go. Little bit of struggle in the second outer zone. He was a little shallow, bit more than I think he'd like to be, and then just tapping that wall and then putting it back together as he comes through that final outer zone. So let's see what the judges come in with here.
No stranger to danger is Gaston. Let's hope his efforts will be rewarded, and it is a score of 71. 71 for car 109 on run one, putting him right up there. So next up on the line, we got Spencer Bolt coming to us from the Seattle area. Got the pink wheels on the Corvette. Bolt choice, we like it, stands out. As here we go for Spencer. Lights extinguish, away we go. Mr. Bolt, the floor is yours. Nice snappy initiation there for Spencer. A little bit of left foot brake to correct the car up on the line. Now dragging the left foot brake there just to make sure he's eyeing up that first touch and go. Very nice job for Spencer as he fires it into that second outer zone, filling it nice and perfect here for Mr. Bolt. As we come across that first inside clip, now eyeing up that second touch and go, hits it, quits it. A lot of left foot brake there to set up that last outer zone. But Spencer Bolt across the line in what looked like a pretty snazzy qualifying effort. So as we look back on the replay, you can see that Spencer maybe over-rotated the car a little bit on initiation, had to save it with the left foot brake, and then just kind of ride it out just to get back on that arc that he was looking for. As we drop down into the infield, he was perfect in that second outer zone. Nice across that inside clip, and really just nailed that touch and go there. As we come out to the latter part of the course, you can see back on that left foot again just a little bit. Looking for a little bit more commitment out of Spencer, but also not so bad so far. Score 75 for Spencer Bolt, so the judges agree. Not too bad. I think that currently puts him into P2. Tyler Mayer is our next driver up on the TMR Tire Streets Field Suspension 240SX. JZ under the hood once again. Another one of those Washington local drivers. Haven't seen him in Spec-D competition a little bit, but he always puts on a show. So we're excited to see what Tyler has on for us today. As here we go, running up through the gears. Nice flick initiation, a little late on the e-brake there for Tyler Mayer. Nice and high as he looks for more as he rides up onto the wall. Tyler Mayer starts to angle it in as we approach that first touch and go. Snap it from right to left, fill out that second outer zone. A little bit stronger towards the end of it. Pass that first inside clip now for Tyler. Hitting that touch and go. Very nice here. Tyler Mayer absolutely on a heater as he comes across the line. Show him some love.
Tyler's here putting on an absolute show as he comes into outside zone 1. We see a little bit of sparks. As we talked about, there's a bit of a bump as the drivers come through that zone, but the car's looking nice and settled through the rest of the run. Tyler, known for his snappy transitions, puts the car exactly where it needs to be, nice and smooth throughout that final outer zone, and he's here putting on a show for you guys. What'd you think?
So I got a pretty important question here for Nicole. Are you Team S chassis or Team BMW?
Oh, this is so hard. I think I'm going to have to go with Team Nice Livery, and we have one on the line right here. This is the Helmies Pierogi Janzen Racing E46. Who tried those mini pierogies today? I definitely had my fill, and they were incredible. Did you try some?
I definitely did. Shout out to Helmies Pierogies. They were phenomenal. I did steal mine off some drivers, but they're still pretty good. I like the segue too. Very good job. It's a big point of contention for me. If you would have said BMW, we wouldn't have been friends. But just a shout out to all my BMW people out there. I do not love you. Malcolm Brown, I would just like to say, sir, it's Agassiz, not Agassiz, but thank you. Made for a great promo video, and I've been hearing a lot for it. All right, and we do have a score for Tyler Mayer, 82 for Tyler Mayer, 82. So up to P1 for Tyler Mayer. Right. Oh, P2, whoopsie. Can't do math, I can just talk.
They don't pay you to do math, right?
No. Thank goodness.
Tyler Mayer's coming in right behind Matt Rusiecki. We know that they do have a bit of a rivalry. These two are always neck and neck, eh?
Billboard shows it, I think. So here we go. Dakota Janzen coming up next here. E46 taken to the line. Nice initiation for Dakota. Nice and high up on that wall. That's excitement. Bet on it. You can bet your pierogies on this one. Perfect for that first touch and go. Let's keep it going, Dakota. Woo! Lost for words almost. Past that first inside clip. Now filling that second touch and go. Huge degree of angle for Dakota Janzen. Absolutely setting the track alight. Agassiz Raceway, stand on your feet and make some noise. That was awesome. But yeah, perfect job there on the arc around the first outer zone. Perfect for that first touch and go. Man, it's just all good here. Almost as good as the Pierogies, I'd say, for Dakota Janzen's first qualifying run.
I mean, I would say he is pierogi fueled. I did see him throwing a few of those back on the break. Dakota is a veteran on this track. He's driven it tons of times, so he's very comfortable. He knows where to put this car up high on that wall, and he comes in with a 90. Nice work by Dakota Janzen.
Told you could bet the Pierogies on it. Had a feeling. Awesome job there for Janzen. So next up on the line from the 881 Opir Belt Series, Napa Fort McMurray Titan Fab E46. This is Opir Braun, one of our veteran drivers here in the Spec-D Drift Series. Opir always plugging away, always such a nice dude to talk to. If there's ever anybody to give you the time of day in the pits, it's definitely Opir. Definitely go hit him up with all your drifting questions. He loves to talk to you guys. Really nice gentleman here, but let's see if niceness translates to aggressiveness for Opir Braun. He was a little bit off in the practice sessions, but I know the boys are working hard behind the wall there to get that car set up in the window where they would want. So I'm hoping that he changes pay off here for Mr. Opir Braun as we leave the line. Here we go. Running up JZ through the gears. Opir flicking it in. Nice initiation for Opir. Still a little bit longer on the bank. Has to grab a little bit left foot, try to get onto that right arc. Now corrects it. Ooh, way off that first touch and go. Now transitioning, filling out that second outer zone here. Opir still a little timid as we come into that second touch and go. But now filling out that last outer. Not a bad run there for Opir.
Not a bad run by any means, but like you said, maybe still a little bit of struggle or hesitation like we were seeing in practice earlier this morning. Opir just having a bit of a tough time getting high up on that bank, but definitely makes up for it with the sounds of those turbos. He brings it down through the touch and go, floats it through the center, and then aims for that outside zone 2 and gets it in there quite good.
So as we await a score for Opir. 49 for Opir Braun, a 49 for car 150. I know he can increase that, so hopefully he can do that next run out. Mr. Brett Alexander kind of stole the show a little bit with his one more time battle with Mr. Gab there in round 1. It was a fantastic effort from him. He's looking pretty on point here so far. Had a little bump in with the wall, but looks like they got it all straightened out. So the Drift Easy tire spot 36 is ready on the line to take us away for his first qualifying run here. Round 2 competition for Brett Alexander, making, of course, his rookie debut here. Waits for the light and goes. What a jump. Here we go. A little late on the full throttle here for Brett. Sticking it up on the bank there, a little low, like to see him a little bit higher, might just be eyeing it out here. He basically crashed the last run of practice. Using this lap as a test lap maybe here. But so far, it looks like the car is working underneath and putting it in all the right spots as it leaves that second touch and go here, filling out that last outer zone. Brett Alexander, very nice effort. As we spotted on the run-up, taking a little bit slower out of the gate here. Might just be eyeing in that entry again just to get it perfect. But so far, so good for Brett Alexander. Keeps it a mid to high line. No wavering, too. I think that's really key here. Keeping it nice and smooth as he approaches that first touch and go. And as you can see, just taking a little bit of angle before we get into that second outer zone. But from there on out, it was smooth sailing for Brett Alexander. And I'm thinking he'll have a pretty nice score for this one.
And Brett Alexander coming in with a 70. Definitely a nice score up on the board for him. I'm sure he's looking for a little bit more. He's going to come out on his second qualifying with a little bit of the hunt in the eyes.
All right, here we go. Part of that Skidiots Garage team. This is Carlton McDonald. I want to call him Carmack, but I don't think he'll fit. I don't think he'll stick. Oh, yeah, no, we're good. What's that?
It's going to stick. We're going to make it stick.
Carmack, maybe? I think we can do better. But here we go. Mr. McDonald, let's see what he's got. Carlton, that beautiful Ford Mustang nitrous outlet equipped machine coming in. Firing it in nice and high there for Carlton. sticking it to the wall. Jace, your boy, is running strong. Really nice arc here as we approach that first touch and go for Carlton. As he transitions it back, sticks it in that second outer zone. Now filling it perfectly as we come across that first inside clip. Nice and dialed is Carlton through the latter section of the course. Nice big dump angle there. Big clutch kick to get it across the line. Carlton McDonald, a very strong showing there.
Beautiful car and a beautiful run to go with it. We were speaking earlier about how this track is a little bit tighter than a lot of these drivers are used to, and trying to wield this power through these transitions is quite the feat for these guys. So seeing them come through here nice and smooth and nailing every zone is exactly what we're looking for, and it seems that Carlton worked out all the kinks in his practice, because this is one beautiful run.
Couldn't agree more. This is a really fun track for us here at the Spec-D series, because kind of pays homage to the old NASCAR series. Big cars, small track. Bulls in a china shop, if you understand what I'm saying. Not a lot of room for all of this horsepower, but these gentlemen out here making it look nice and smooth. Very exciting. Very stoked to see what we get in tandem battles, and stoked to see what we get for a score here for Carlton McDonald. We are just, to quote the great John Bernstead, we're just using the upgraded abacus up here. We actually have Dustin doing math now, so no longer got to rely on John. But Mr. Excitement, I hope you're doing good at home, buddy. We miss you. You would have loved this track, man. I think you would have gone well out here, but hopefully you have a nice garage by the end of the weekend, I guess, bud. So we got a 75 for Carlton McDonald. Car number 382 gets a 75. Next up on the line, one of your local BC drivers. This is Jamie Tedesco in the Living Legends E-Factory E46. This guy can definitely fly, and he's been looking on point here this weekend. So excited to see it come together for Jamie Tedesco. Let's see what we get. Firing it into the entry with a nice e-brake pull here, going up. Starting low, working up, coming back down for Jamie. Has to jump on a little bit of left foot brake there just to correct the rotation around the line. Jamie not afraid to give it the throttle as we fire into that second touch and go. Jamie Tedesco absolutely on one right now as he angles it out to finish off the course. Good, strong run there for Jamie.
Great work from Jamie, and also one of our BCDA grassroots judges. So he has a little bit of an advantage as he was out here just last weekend judging the grassroots series. So he knows this track, he knows where to put his car, and a big sim guy. So I'm sure he's put in a bit of time on the sim with this track, dialing in his car and where he wants to put it. Beautiful run from him. And I think the judges have a score ready for him.
That'll be a 72 for Jamie Tedesco, a 72 for car 395 on his first run. So next up online is going to be car number 717, Alex Lindsay. Of course, rocking the best power plant in the game, the KA24DET under the hood of this guy here. Love to see it. He'd like to give a big shout out to SpeedTech Auto Racing. Has apparently hooked him up with a pretty cool sequential system that works inside the stock KA transmission. So that was a bunch of technical jargon for a bunch of people that probably don't care. But it was pretty cool. I liked it. And like I had mentioned, don't know if I mentioned it, guys, KA power right here. So pretty stoked. KT, buddy, you know it. At least we got to see one run this year. So here we go. Mr. Alex Lindsay. Not saying I'm like biased or anything, guys, but I'm going to tell you that this is going to be, I really hope it's amazing, where I'm really setting up the worst commentator's curse in history. So let's see what we get. See how it goes.
All I'm going to say is it's a good thing you're not a judge.
Whew. I know. Here we go. Mr. Lindsay coming into the course. Please get it right as we snap in from right to left. KA ripping away here. Keeping it up on the big bank there is Mr. Lindsay. Nice job through the first touch and go there, filling it and quits it right on time for Alex Lindsay. Second outer zone, huge degree of angle there for Mr. Lindsay as we touch on that second touch and go, hit and quit it. Now filling that last outside zone, full pull there for Alex Lindsay. Welcome him to Agassiz Raceway.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that did sound pretty amazing. I might be getting on the KA train. We'll see. If I spend too much time with you, I think it's bound to happen. But beautiful work by Alex Lindsay here. As he comes into the inner field of this track, he knows exactly where his car is. He's filling the zones all the way, nice and smooth through the center. Great work on this touch and go, and dialed as he heads into that outer zone 3.
'77 for car 717. 77 for Alex Lindsay. Not a bad job. Jovi, no, it's KA is better than Beams, my friend. Just checked my notes. It says it right there, actually. Thought you'd pop up somewhere on the chat. All right, next up, the notorious one, the notorious GAB. Not in the usual BRZ, though. This is a new to him S14 platform. They had a little bit of issues there with the EG contracting BRZ, so to the S chassis we go. So let's see what Mr. Gab has for us in store. Nice aggressive entry for Gabriele here as he rides up on that wall. Really aggressive in that first touch and go. The car may change, but the style does not. 110% throttle. Mr. Gabriele Laflamme, it is looking great. Boom goes the bumper, off against the touch and go. Gab is absolutely no slurring on tone. Let's go! Woo!
Agassiz, give it up for Gab. Driving like he's been in this car his entire life. You would never know from that run that this is a brand new car for him. Putting it in all the right places, making all the right noises, and giving us all the smoke that we could want to.
Absolutely amazing job there for Gab. That was a fun one. Just checking in on the live stream chat. Mr. Logan, what's good, man? They did remove the first inner clip. That's correct. Coming off the bank. 87 for Gabriele. 87 for car number 421. Not too bad for a new to him car, I'd have to say. All right, car number 736 online. This is the 881 Apparel Belt Series E46. Well, the other one, they're both pink. But this one's Pauly G. You can signify that because he got the big wing on it. Let's hope he's not Wally G on this one. But I'm going to feel bad. JC told me to be nice. I think that was kind of nice. So last run of the first qualifying series. Each driver will have another run to impress the judges. Some drivers could just be sitting in a safe banking run. Notable mention here, Sean Kuscaden has it all to do in the second run, receiving a 0 on his first run. I know that guy could go out there and put on a score. Nicole, who's impressed you so far?
I mean, Dakota Janzen really came out of the gate hot and heavy and put the car right where he needed it to be and came out with a really high score. I'm sure he's pleased with himself and is hunting for more in qualifying round 2.
Very excited to see what we get on the second run here, as we are still awaiting Pauly G's first run. Just a little production, a little behind us, but we're working on it behind the scenes.
The way this bracket is shaping up, just in these first rounds of qualifying, it's going to be a tight race today, I think.
I don't think there's going to be an easy battle all afternoon, honestly, the way everybody is driving here today. So we do have the next run ready to go. This is Paul Gracie. Call number 736. Napa Fort McMurray. Bounce Series 881 Apparel. BMW. Yuck. But where my BMW fans at? Nice. I love this audience. You guys are the best. All right, here we go. Paul Gracie, hot and heavy off the line. Let's see what he's got in it. Nice flick of angle in there for Paul Gracie. A little bit long on the e-brake now, working his way up on that bank. Just as I say that, locks up that left foot. Whoa, real shallow for Paul G. Now starting to work it out to that second outer zone. Nice and snappy past that first inside clip. As we go hunting for that last outer zone. Going to be a full pull there for Paul Gracie. You can kind of see the bump that we were talking about there on the replays. Gives them a little kick before they go into the bank. And looks like it just kicked Paul right off that ideal line. You see him try to fix it there with a left foot brake, basically dragging that tire along the bank side. But as we get onto the infield here, Paulie G cleans it up past that inside foot and hits and quits that touch and go perfectly. A little bit outside that last outside zone, but it's going to be a score on the board for Paulie G.